So, I want to talk a little bit about why I quit the gym. This is going to be a long story. I'm going to try and really cover a lot of different topics. I guess I want to start out by saying I think that a lot of people go to the gym because they don't like the way they look. They want to feel attractive. They want to be attracted by the opposite sex. They want to have a lot of these different benefits. There's a lot of different reasons why people go to the gym, but I really don't think that the primary one is to be healthy. I think a lot of the reasons why people choose to go to the gym are very negative, and I think that's also why going to the gym is such a struggle for a lot of people, either to maintain that sort of routine, whether it be like a New Year's routine, oh, I'm going to go to the gym, and they fall off the bandwagon by the time Valentine's Day comes around, or they can stick with it long term, but they really just don't enjoy it. And I think a lot of it is because of the reasons why we go to the gym are sort of to move away from this sort of source of negativity towards ourselves. And just a little background for me, I'm 26. I've been going to the gym I started going to the gym New Year's 10 years ago, so 2004. And I did it for a lot of negative reasons. I didn't like the way I looked. I felt like I was skinny. I didn't like to get picked on. All these sorts of negative connotations, and I felt that by going to the gym, I would become bigger and stronger and be able to kind of, by physically changing my body, that would become a vehicle for me to eliminate the problems that I had. And I found after 10 years of going to the gym, I put on over 50 pounds. I started doing bench press competitions, and I was thinking about doing some sort of like bodybuilding type stuff, and I was getting into it really big, but I still wasn't happy with myself. I still wasn't satisfied with the way I looked. I still had bad relationships with the opposite sex. I still didn't always feel attracted, not necessarily attractive to the opposite sex, but I just wasn't attracting the right kinds of people. And I felt really unhealthy. I definitely had, your typical bodybuilder kind of sort of digestive issues and acne and other things. And I knew after about 10 years that it was time for me to stop abusing my body. And I think that's unfortunately what a lot of bodybuilders are doing, both female and male. It's really a form of abuse for your body, just like all the binge eating that I was doing to put on weight. And just constantly, all these activities were just reinforcing this idea of I'm not good enough as I am, and I need to become something so that I feel a certain way, so that certain things happen in my life, etc., etc. And for me, about 2 years ago, I said, that's enough. I'm going to stop abusing my body. I'm going to stop force-feeding myself full of food. And I'm going to start caring for myself. I'm going to start loving myself. I'm going to start caring for myself. And I'm going to genuinely address these sorts of issues that I have in my life. And for me, that meant stop eating so much, starting to eat more fruits, more vegetables, whole grains, just a really well-rounded, healthier diet. And that's just a side note. A lot of people are like, oh, if I just looked this way, I'd be happier. If I just had this car, I'd feel better about myself, or these people would like me. And unfortunately, it's really the other way around. You have to start being happy. You have to start loving yourself. You have to start surrounding yourself by people that you enjoy their company and they enjoy yours before you can have those sorts of benefits. So I think we really have this paradigm backwards. So for me, I started making those choices to become healthier, and a lot of that was diet at first, and then my body kind of changed. I lost a lot of that weight I put on. It took me 10 years to put on 50 pounds, and it took me 3 months to lose half of that. And I guess about 6 months ago, I started really questioning myself in terms of the gym. I wasn't enjoying going to, I always love going to the gym. I can't lie. I really do enjoy going to the gym. But I felt like a lot of the exercises, I wasn't getting like a good pump, and I wasn't, I would do an hour-long workout or a 45-minute workout, and I'd be sore the next day. But I didn't really necessarily really thoroughly enjoy the workouts in terms of, wow, that really kicked my ass. Obviously on certain leg days, you can't help but go home and be, having spaghetti legs and super sore the next day. But in terms of just like, a lot of it was just ego driven. It was just, I need to lift more weight. I need to do all these things to change my body. And I said to myself, that I was going to kind of try this experiment where I'd stop going to the gym. And I noticed at first when I started cutting back from the gym, my body didn't really change that much. So for me and my body type, right, because I think that I can only really speak for my body type. For if you are an endomorph and you put on weight easier and you start cutting back from the gym or you start cutting back from cardio, you might put on weight a little bit more. Now, obviously from a lot of the weight that ectomorphs can keep on is mostly calories. You're going to need the strength training to help maintain the muscle mass. So yeah, you're going to lose a little bit of those benefits. But for me, it's kind of like this rule where it's the law of diminishing returns. So for me, if I put 100% in the gym all the time, I'm going to get 100% of the results. But if I put 80% of the gym, 80%, I'm still going to get a lot of those results. I can even go to the gym half as much as I used to and still get 75% of the results. So the more you go to the gym, the more you exercise, doesn't necessarily mean you're going to reap that many more benefits. So when I started going 3 days a week instead of 5 or 6, my body didn't really change that much. Even when I stopped going to the gym for a whole 3 months, I didn't work out at all for 3 months. And then I went back to the gym. Within 2 months, I had all my strength back. And so for me, I stopped going because, one, a lot of money issues. It's cheaper, obviously, not to have to go to the gym. And two, I really felt kind of enslaved to the whole thing. Really just I have to go to the gym, or on vacation, I have to get a 1-week gym membership pass. And I really became enslaved to it. And I stopped going. I stopped going eventually. And I needed to give my time, I had 10 years of thinking, I need the gym, I need the gym, I need the gym. So I took a couple months off and just kind of chilled. Like, all right, I'm just going to live my life, do my thing. My body's going to change. I'm going to embrace it. But I need to not be so obsessed with it. It's like not healthy. And then I started just doing exercises that really felt good, like walking and riding my bike, going for jogs, going to the park and doing pull-ups and push-ups, and a lot of body weight exercises. And for me, I'm getting better workouts, more satisfying workouts from them. And I'm doing it from a place of love because I'm doing it as a way to be healthy. You need strength-bearing exercises, weight-bearing exercises to help maintain muscle mass, bone density, And there's a lot of other, neurological benefits as well and hormonal benefits. But for me, it's really out of a place of necessity. It's important to have physical fitness in our life, but more weight on the bar doesn't necessarily mean better. I mean, you look at a lot of these bodybuilders; they have injuries, and they have all these problems later in life. And for me, maybe it's just because I'm getting older and I'm thinking more long term. I'm thinking, okay, I can bench 225. Like, so what? That doesn't make me feel better about myself. I mean, maybe for that moment, but outside of the gym, what does that mean? It means nothing. And what does that mean to my girlfriend or to, girls that I want to meet? They don't care how much I bench, and so I started surrounding myself by really positive people that love me genuinely for who I am. And I didn't need the gym, or a fancy car or this or that, or I didn't need the gym to feel good about myself, to surround myself by people that are just genuinely awesome, to have relationships with the opposite sex or the same sex for everyone else out there. To have relationships with a partner. When you ask a lot of people who work out a lot and have really, really good physiques how the relationships are, genuinely, they're going to say they're really not that good. And that's because a lot of that fitness, a lot of that exercise, and a lot of that gym mentality just isn't positive. But when you surround yourself by these positive vibes, by these positive motions and positive energies, you attract people that are great, that are awesome, that make you feel good, that you can help, and that, they enjoy your company. And you can surround yourself and really enjoy your activities strictly because you're doing them and not for the benefits that you want to reap because of the things you hate about yourself. And I think that's really the big difference. Another thing I did want to add is I haven't gone to the gym in 3 months. I haven't done sit-ups in like 7 months. And I'm like still like super like I'm certainly not nearly as big as I used to be, but I like the way I look now more than I ever did. And that's because this is naturally me. Some people might say, oh, you look skinny, you look thin. But that's naturally who I am. And by embracing that, I've become a much better person, both inside and outside. And the world can benefit more by me being here because I have this more positive attitude about myself. I really love my life. I love where I am. I love what I'm doing. And that to me means so much more than the weight on the bar or the weight on the scale. So thanks guys for watching. I know it's kind of a long video, but I'll be posting other ones. Let me know what you think. Post and leave comments below.